motherfucker.
The Jell-O Program, starring Jack Benny with Mary Livingston and Phil Harris and his orchestra.
Thank you. This is Groucho Marx. Well, here I am, stepping in over my head again.
With Fibber McGee and Molly.
Folks, this is just as new to me as it is to you.
Hello?
Hello, Mr. Benny. This is Rochester.
The Great Gildersleeve.
Well, what an original greeting.
Hello and welcome to another week of comedy, funny, ha-ha, on Dwayne Old Time Radio. One thing, please subscribe to my channel. If you enjoy what I'm doing, subscribing is 100% free. Also, one more thing, if you have a few seconds or 1 minute, please leave a review on your preferred podcast service, especially if you're on Apple, Spotify, or really just your preferred podcast service. Thank you, and hope you enjoy. This week we welcome back Groucho Marx in his series, You Bet Your Life. You Bet Your Life. We have 3 episodes from You Bet Your Life because I want to wrap up the year of 1949. This is the last 3 episodes that I have from that year. So we're going to start it off with the secret word is window, November 30th, 1949, the 70th episode. Then the secret word is dust, the 71st episode, December 7th, 1949. And then the 72nd episode is the secret word is hair. This is December 14th, 1949.
Ladies and gentlemen, the secret word tonight is window. W-I-N-D-O-W.
Really?
You bet your life! Elgin American, creator of America's most beautiful compact, smartest cigarette cases, magic action lighters, finest dresser sets, presents Groucho Marx in the Elgin American show, You Bet Your Life. The comedy quiz series produced and transcribed from Hollywood. And here's that sterling Elgin American, the one, the only...
Nice fellow, known him for years. Hey, that's me, Groucho Marx. Thank you. Well, here I am again with $1,000 for one of our couples. George Fenneman, who gets first whack at it?
Just before we went on the air, our studio audience selected a bachelor and a spinster, and here they are. Mr. Stuart Bowles and Miss Henrietta Adair meet Groucho Marx.
Welcome for Elgin American Compacts. And if one of you says the secret word, he wins a 16-millimeter Apollo Sound movie projector that retails for $129.50. Mr. Stuart Bowles. What sort of work do you do, Stu?
I'm in the investment department of E.F. Hutton & Company, and Mr. Marx's year is the 50th anniversary of the L.A. Exchange.
Is that so?
Yes, sir.
That's your job, huh? You're an investment broker, huh?
That's right, sir.
Mm-hmm. Is that what you wanted to be when you were a boy?
Oh, no, I never thought I'd be that.
Well, now you're grieving about it. Miss Henrietta Adair, huh? You're the spinster?
Well, if you mean, am I married? Yes, I am.
Don't you like being called a spinster?
Well, I prefer unmarried.
Okay, unmarried. Where are you from?
Houston, Texas.
You're from Houston? How long have you been a spinster? I mean, unmarried.
That's sort of a difficult question to answer, Mr. Marx.
Well, it wasn't an easy question to ask, either. Well, I'll try to make it easier. At what age does a girl become a spinster? Not you, I mean, any girl.
Oh, around 30. About 30.
And how long has it been since you were 30?
You're just trying to find out how old I am, Mr. Marx.
Well, that's the general idea, yeah. Mr. Stewart, how old are you?
Oh, I'm about the same age as she is.
Well, you're a pretty cagey pair. Now, George has the perfect gifts from our sponsor.
for Miss Adair this lovely engraved dresser set by Elgin American. It's finished in rich silver, the finishing touch for your dresser.
Beautiful, and I don't have one.
For Mr. Bowles, Elgin American's popular cigarette case with today's smart leather-like look.
Now, Stu, why haven't you married, huh? A young, jovial-looking fellow like you?
Well, I guess it's the old saying, he travels fastest who travels alone.
I see. Well, what's your hurry, huh? Do you know, Henrietta, do you know any little proverbs that would put Speedy here in his place?
Well, a stitch in time saves 9.
You mean he's coming apart at the seams? I think she's just giving you the needle here, Stu. Now, Henrietta, getting back to the subject of romance, why is it you haven't married?
Well, I suppose I just didn't take advantage of my opportunities.
Well, I think opportunity is knocking right now. On the other hand, it might be his knees knocking down. Well, tell me, Lightning, what qualifications are you looking for in a wife?
Well, I'd like her to be attractive and thoughtful, economical and considerate.
That doesn't sound like too much. Would you say you're economical, Henrietta?
I think I am.
Well, according to him, that only means how many miles do you get to a gallon. Now, in just 1 minute, you're going to work together as a team for $1,000. But right now, here's some advice you both will benefit by.
The gift of a compact is very, very good. But a compact set is better. Elgin American makes them best. It's the gift you ought to get her. Compact, lighter, and cigarette case, designed to go together, are the smartest accessories you could give. And impress her, will they ever?
Now, there's a wonderful Christmas gift idea. An Elgin American compact with cigarette case, lighter, or both, designed to go together will thrill any woman. Make her look so fashionable with matching accessories. They're exquisitely styled, finished, and crafted in the Elgin American manner. And they're real values from $9.95. $6.95 for American Beauty companion sets. Come in sterling silver, too. Tomorrow, buy an impressive compact set with matching cigarette case, lighter, or both to make that special woman specially happy this Christmas. A first in fashion, first in value compact set by Elgin American.
Now then, let's see if you two will get a chance at the $1,000 question. You're going to play You Bet Your Life on them and bring them up to date on the rules.
Each of our 3 couples has $20. They bet as much of that 20 as they want in each of 4 questions. The couple that earns the most money gets a chance at the $1,000 question at the end of the show.
Here we go. Let's see how high I can build you $20. You selected famous racetracks as your category, right? Now, here's your first question. How much will you bet? You have $20.
$5.
$5. In what state is Bay Meadows Racetrack?
California.
California is right.
They're on their way with $25.
Remember, this is just chicken feed. You're going for $1,000 tonight, and that's the big prize. Now, how much of the 25 will you try?
15.
How much?
15.
15. In what state is Hialeah Racetrack?
Florida.
Florida's correct.
They're climbing. They have $40.
All right, you're climbing. You got $40. Here's your third question. How much of the 40 are you going to try?
30.
$30. Where is the Saratoga Racetrack?
New York.
New York is right.
They're really on their way now. They have $70.
How much of the 70 are you going to try?
50.
$50. In what state is Churchill Downs Racetrack?
Kentucky.
In old Kentucky.
And they wind up with $120.
Henrietta, you did fine. Thanks and good luck from Elgin American Compacts. Now, don't wander off. You're still in the running for the big prize.
Groucho, the secret word is still window.
It is, George.
Yes, and perhaps the next couple will say it. We asked if there were any salesmen here tonight, and just before we went on the air, the studio audience elected Mr. Paul Chalfont, and for his partner, Mrs. Jean Reynolds, a housewife. And here they are. Folks, meet Groucho Marx.
Welcome for Elgin American Compacts. And if one of you says the secret word, he wins the 16-millimeter Apollo Sound movie projector. It's a common word, something you see every day. Mrs. Jean Reynolds, that's right?
Yes, sir.
What does your husband do, Jean?
He's a real estate salesman.
Mm-hmm. Where are you from?
Right in the heart of Chicago.
Mm-hmm. Do you have any children?
Yes, I have two.
You have two? Well, how many do you have? how did you meet your husband? Huh?
I met him at a wedding.
At a wedding?
Yes, sir.
Yours?
No, it wasn't mine. We were dancing. And I was dancing with this fellow, and we were very close to the orchestra. And he tried to do some of these fancy stunts. And he swung me, and before I knew it, I fell right in the drum. The fellow said, well, hurry up and get out of my drum so I can see what damage you've done.
What did he say? I got you under my skin?
Well, I was so embarrassed, and I said, just take my name and address, and I'll be glad to compensate for it. So he kept coming over my house, and he never got any money. And finally, why, he forgot all about his drum, and I figured it would be cheaper to marry the guy than buy him a new drum.
Now, salesman, Chalfont, is that right?
That's right, sir.
What do you sell?
I sell washing machines and ironers.
Are you a traveling salesman?
I'm a salesman, but not a traveling salesman.
I see. Well, that's logical. I do some farming, but I'm not what you'd call a farmer's daughter. Who do you work for?
I work for Thor Corporation.
Is that Thor? Now, what are they Thor?
No.
Now, let's cut out the baby talk. Who do you work for?
Thor, Thor, Thor Corporation.
Oh, I see. Would you like to send one of your machines over? I'd like to rinse out that spot announcement you just made. Tell me, Soap Suds, how is the washing machine? How is the washing machine game or business?
Well, we are cleaning up.
I bet you've used that one before, huh?
Yes, honestly, I have.
Mm-hmm. Salesmen always tell little jokes like that, don't they? Do you have any other little yaks that you spring on the customer?
Well, there's another one I usually break the ice with, and that's about the couple that were in the iron and steel business. She ironed and he steals, you know.
Well, that must break the ice right over your head, that one. Are you sure that joke didn't go through your washing machine?
Well,
at least through the ringer?
It's clean anyway.
Hey, he's got a pretty good line at that this time. Does anything exciting ever happen to you, Mr. Chalfont?
Well,
pretty fancy pronunciation there. I think that means salami in French. Anything exciting ever happened to you,
yes,
Paul D. Saloon?
I had a rather exciting experience here last week,
You did?
Boss and I returned from a fishing trip. We returned home, and he found out he'd lost his keys, so he decided I would be the one to crawl through the window.
Well, Paul, you said window, and that's the secret word. George, tell him what he wins.
A 16-millimeter Apollo sound movie projector. And now you can show regular Hollywood sound movies or movies you take yourself. It sells for $129.50.
All right, you stuck your foot through the window. Now pull it out and let's get back to business, huh?
Well, I got in, but I also found out the missus, wouldn't answer the door.
Who's missus?
The boss's wife. And after I got inside, I found out that he put me through the bathroom window, and the reason why she hadn't come to the door that she was taking a shower.
Well, she should have stayed in that Thor washing machine. Well, you're an interesting and amiable couple, and we're happy to have you here. Now, we have some ideal gifts from our sponsor.
For Mrs. Reynolds, pearls for you. Elgin American's beautiful simulated pearls. They're the finest pearls made by man. I'm sure you'll enjoy them.
Thank you. They're exquisite.
And for Mr. Chalfont, this
Chalfont.
For Mr. Paul, this slim, sleek, sterling silver cigarette case by Elgin American, handsomely engraved, as you'll notice. How do you like it?
Wonderful.
Now you're going to play You Bet Your Life for $1,000. Run your $20 into more than the other couples, and you get the chance at the big question later. Fenneman's offstage to remind our listeners how much the first couple won.
The Bachelor and the Spinster won $120.
Here we go. Let's see how high I can build you $20. You selected Presidents of the United States as your category. Now, here's your first question. You've got $20. How much you going to try?
$10.
$10. What was the name of the president who in 1919 tried to lay the foundation for everlasting peace?
Wilson.
Woodrow Wilson is right.
And they're off to a good start with $30.
Woodrow Wilson, sometimes known as Alexander Knox. You now have $30. Remember, you're going for $1,000 tonight, and that's the big prize. How much of the 30 are you going to try?
$20.
Okay. What was the name of the president who drafted the Declaration of Independence?
Thomas Jefferson.
Thomas Jefferson is right.
They now have $50.
You should have known that, Mrs. Reynolds. There's a street in Chicago named Jefferson, isn't there? All right, you've got $50. Here's your third question. How much of the 50 are you going to crack?
$40.
$40. What was the name of Lincoln's successor? He was the only president to be impeached.
Johnson. Andrew Johnson.
Andrew Johnson is correct.
They're really on their way now. They have $90.
Andrew Johnson was one-time heavyweight champion of the world. Huh? All right, you've got $90. Here's your last chance to beat the other couples. How much of the 90 are you going to go for? And no coaching.
$70.
$70. What was the name of the vigorous president who was a hero in the Spanish-American Wars, head of the Rough Riders?
Theodore Roosevelt.
Teddy Roosevelt is right.
And they wind up with $160.
Thanks and good luck from Elgin American Compacts. Now, in just 1 minute, our last couple will play You Bet Your Life, and then we know who gets the $1,000 question. What an auctioneer item, eh? But right now, listen to this.
Oh, I forgot my lighter.
Here, take mine. My wife's always borrowing it, too, so I'm giving her one for Christmas.
Say, that's a beauty. What kind is it?
Elgin American's new Socialite.
Yes, everybody goes for Elgin American's terrific new lighters, and they make terrific Christmas gifts. So beautifully designed and finished, they look like jewelry, and they work like magic. Have a magic action double catch that's new, different, safe, and the most modern sure-fire mechanism ever made. Yet these last word Elgin American lighters for men and women are priced from just $4.95. Table models from $9.95. Values beyond compare. Tomorrow, buy these very finest lighters for every smoker on your Christmas list and give them the light of their lives. Socialite lighters by Elgin American.
All right, we'll soon know who's going to earn the most money and get the chance at the $1,000 question. George, who's leading at this point?
Well, the salesman and the housewife are leading with $160. Our final couple doesn't know the secret word is window because they've been in a waiting room off stage. We invited some people with unusual occupations to be at the show tonight, and our judges selected these two to be on the program. And here they are, Mr. A. Eugene Mosier, an explorer, and Mr. Joseph May, a lighthouse keeper. Gentlemen, meet Groucho Marx.
Welcome for Elgin American Compacts. And if one of you says the secret word, he wins an Apollo Sound movie projector instantly. It's a common word, something you see every day. Mr. Joseph May, you're the lighthouse keeper?
Yes, sir.
You're a cute little rascal. Where are you from, Joe?
I'm from Carnarvon.
Carnarvon?
Yes, sir.
Where is that?
Northern Wales.
In Northern Wales, huh? Yes. Can you speak Welsh?
No.
Are you married?
Yes, sir.
Mm-hmm. Well, if you're married, why are you doing light housekeeping?
Well, the wife, she does the light housekeeping, and I just look after the light in the lighthouse.
Oh. Now, how'd you meet your wife, Joseph?
I met her in Raymond, Washington, in a skating rink. She bumped into me, I think.
You're not sure, huh?
I am now, yes.
Just where is your lighthouse?
Point Vincente.
Where's that?
It's located so that it protects the entrance going into Los Angeles Harbor.
Now, why does the harbor need protection? I thought it was the ships that needed protection.
Well, we protect the ships as well.
You don't care about the harbor anymore now. My, but you're fickle, Joe. Suppose your light can't be seen. How do you warn ships?
We have a fogo when we start up.
And suppose that fails?
We have a standby fog signal that's operated by a gas engine.
And suppose that fails?
We're out of commission.
And how much commission do you get? Mr. Mosier, is that the way you pronounce it?
Mosier.
Mosier, huh? Where are you from? You're the explorer, huh? Where are you from originally?
Alexander, Virginia.
Where have you been?
Where haven't I been?
No, I asked you first now. Where have you been?
About every country in the world, every place.
It's hard to believe. You mean there isn't a single place you haven't been?
That's right. There isn't a single place I haven't been.
How about the ladies' lounge at the Union Station? What do you say to that? Huh?
Oh, you got me there.
Well, if I have, I'm going to get out of there, too. How long have you been exploring?
Oh, exploring, adventuring, about 31 years.
Mm-hmm. Now, what's the most interesting place you've ever been?
Tibet.
Tibet?
That's
what
right.
time did you go to Tibet? Do you remember?
Get along.
Tell me, how did you become an explorer? Did you get lost in a revolving door when you were a boy? Huh?
Oh, I guess it was born in me. My godfather is Aloysius T. Smith, and better known as Trader Horn.
How did it happen he was your godfather?
Well, he happened
Did he get you in a trade or something?
No, he happened to be down in Virginia when I was born, and he's a very good friend of my father, so my father named me Aloysius Eugene Francis Xavier Joan of Arc Vincent Irish Patrick Moser.
No wonder you keep traveling, huh? By the time you register in a hotel, it's time to get up in the morning. Have you any odd experiences that you'd care to relate?
Well, I guess the biggest adventure was when I almost got married in Arabia.
Oh, that'd be an adventure anywhere, huh?
Yeah.
Who to?
Oh, 6 Arabian girls.
Cheaper by the dozen, eh?
You see, I went down there and saved some girl from some bandits or something. She took me home and introduced me to the harem. And I liked the looks of what I could see of them. And I asked each one to marry me. And there was a law that you couldn't look under the veil before you married them. So I lifted up the veil and they threw me out.
Did the 6 of them throw you out or one at a time, huh?
A couple guards.
Whole thing sounds pretty harem-scaring to me. Well, tell me, Itchy Feet, what was your most exciting experience besides the Arabian debacle?
I guess it happened when I was on the Saratoga. Good old ship that couldn't go down. And was on there, and Admiral Halsey was then captain, and Admiral Mitchell was executive officer. And I walked down the deck with my mind on some blonde over in Long Beach. Might have been a redhead. I didn't see the executive officer and didn't salute him. He jumped me. He said, Mosher, you salute an officer when you see one? Yes, sir. My mind's on a blonde over in Long Beach. He says, up, go put yourself on report. I figure out, well, if I got on report, I couldn't go over to Long Beach to see that girl. So I just didn't put myself on report.
Did the Saratoga always cruise around Long Beach?
I think so all the time.
No wonder they couldn't sink it.
You know, comes Captain Mass, and the captain sent for me, Halsey. He says to me, he says, Commander Mitchell said, put yourself on report. I said, yes, sir. He said, well, why didn't you do it? I said, I just reconsidered the matter and decided to give myself another chance. He let me go.
Well, you're certainly a good sailor, all right. Now, tell me, Bub Snatcher, who owns your lighthouse? Is it a government housing project?
No, it's one of the facilities of the United States Coast Guard.
Oh. Well, what are some of the other Coast Guard services?
Well, there's a lifeboat station and sea and air rescue, weather patrol, ice patrol, and things like that. Mm-hmm. The Coast Guard is putting out an opportunity now for single young men between the ages of 17 and 22. They have a chance to go through the Coast Guard Academy.
You lost me by a half a century. Now, how high is your lighthouse?
194 feet above mean low tide.
Well, how do you get upstairs? Do you float up on the tide?
No, we have 72 steps.
72 steps?
Yeah.
How do you know there are 72 steps?
Well, I've counted them every day.
You still doubt it, huh? Well, why do you count them every day, Joe? Is that all there is to do then?
No, we have other things to do, such as...
I know where you can get 6 Arab girls. By now, maybe you can get them without the veils. Is that all you do, count the steps?
No, we have the maintenance of the station to do, the machinery to keep up, books to take care of.
What do you mean books to take care of?
Well, the bookwork, I mean.
Well, what kind of bookwork?
Well, there's all different kind. You know what bookwork there is to do in a government. Well, government couldn't keep
income tax, I know, but I didn't... What do? Do you count every wave that comes in or something? And then do you count the undertow on the way out again? And send the whole thing to Washington? They tear it up and raise the taxes. Now, it's most instructive having you both there. I learned a lot. I learned that there were 72 steps in the lighthouse. And I learned that you mustn't lift a veil on an Arabian beauty. Now, before we proceed, George, is your ideal gifts from our sponsor.
For Mr. Joseph May, the lighthouse keeper, Elgin American's Smart Compact with a new curved square shape and the unusual two-tone engraving. His wife will love it.
Sure, thank you very much, Mr. Mark.
Why, it's a pleasure to give it to you, Mr. May.
For the Explorer, Elgin American's popular cigarette case with a rich green leather look, something he'll be proud to show off in all his travels.
Now you're going to play You Bet Your Life. You beat our other two couples, you'll get a crack at the $1,000. I can't tell you how much they won, but George is off stage to remind our listeners.
The salesman and the housewife are ahead with $160.
Here we go. Let's see how high I can build you $20. You selected leaders in our government as your category. Is that right?
Yes, sir.
Here's your first question. You have $20. How much will you bet?
$10.
Who is the Secretary of State?
Dean Acheson.
Dean Acheson is correct.
They're on their way with $30.
Remember, you're going for $1,000 tonight. You've got $30. How much will you bet?
$20.
$20. Who is the Attorney General?
Tom McGrath.
J. Howard McGrath, but that's close enough. You got the last name, so you win that.
They're climbing. They have $50.
They're climbing. You got $50. Here's your third question. Are you ready? How much you going to bet?
40.
40? He doesn't even ask, the lighthouse keeper. He's the captain of this scow, all right. $40. Who is the director of the Mint?
The director of the Mint is Cruz Snyder is Interior. You got me up there.
I'm sorry. It's Nellie Taylor Ross. That's a pretty tough one, though.
They now have $10.
Well, you've got $10, and here's your last chance to beat the other couples. How much of the 10 are you going to try?
$10.
Who heads the Federal Bureau of Investigation?
Hoover.
J. Edgar Hoover is right.
And they wind up with $20. And that means the salesman and the housewife, with $160, get the chance at the $1,000 question. And now, a word from Myron Wallace.
Elgin American simulated pearls in a handsome satin-lined jewel box of gold-like jeweler's bronze. Ah, gentlemen, there's a gift to thrill her soul. A gift to make you seem the most wonderful man in her world. Yet this bountiful, beautiful gift is easy to give. Lustrous, glowing Elgin American pearls in the luxurious jewel box start at only $10. Others up to $20. Buy them for her tomorrow. Elgin American simulated pearls.
And here's the winning couple, Groucho, the housewife and the salesman.
Ready to try for $1,000, eh? Good luck, and I'll give you 15 seconds to decide on a single answer between you, so talk it over thoroughly and no help in the audience, please. The Republic of Liberia is patented in government after the United States. They even honored one of our presidents by naming their capital city after him. What is the capital city of Liberia? Mr. Chalfont, as the Speaker of the House here, what is the answer you two have decided upon?
Lincoln.
No, I'm sorry. It's Monrovia after President Monroe. I'm sorry. So that means the big question next week will be worth $1,500. Well, you lost the big money, but you won $160 in cash, and you received those lovely gifts from Elgin American. Congratulations, and thanks to both of you. Thank you.
The Elgin American Show, You Bet Your Life, is a John Goodell production. Transcribed from Hollywood, directed by Bob Dwan and Bernie Smith. Music by Jerry Fielding. Remember, next week's big question pays $1,500. Be sure to tune in again next Wednesday night at this time for You Bet Your Life, starring Groucho Marx. Presented by the creators of America's most beautiful compacts, smartest cigarette cases, magic action lighters, and finest dresser sets, Elgin American.
Good night, folks. Have you looked at your compact lately? Now, don't tone the dial. Bing Crosby's next, you know. And then comes Burns and Allen. Good night.
Ladies and gentlemen, the secret word
anyone
tonight...
falling asleep during the show will be thrown out.
Ladies and gentlemen, the secret word tonight is dust. D-U-S-T.
Really?
You bet your life! Elgin American, creator of America's most beautiful compacts, smartest cigarette cases, magic action lighters, finest dresser sets, presents Groucho Marx in the Elgin American Show, You Bet Your Life. The comedy quiz series produced and transcribed from Hollywood. And here's that sterling Elgin American, the one, the only...
He must be a kigme. Oh, that's me, Groucho Marx. Thank you. Well, here I am again with $1,500 for one of our couples here tonight. George, who's first?
We invited some bacteriologists to the show tonight, and just before we went on the air, our studio audience selected Mr. Frank Matuccio, and his partner is Mrs. Idella Manicera, who operates a bird hospital. Folks, meet Groucho Marx.
Welcome, folks, for Elgin American Compacts. And if one of you says the secret word, he wins a 16-millimeter Apollo Sound movie projector that sells for $129.50. It's a common word, something you see every day. Mr. Matuccio?
Yes?
You're the bacteriologist.
I am.
Where are you from? I'll call you Frank, eh?
Santa Monica.
Santa Monica, huh? Married?
Yes.
How long have you been married, Frank?
Oh, about 11 to 12 years.
What is a bacteriologist?
Oh, a bacteriologist is one who studies bacteria.
Well, what's bacteria? The rear door of a cafeteria?
Bacteria is a unicellular structure which exhibits some of the fundamental process of plant protoplasm.
Mm-hmm. That's very true, you know. You mind if I ask you another question?
Not at all.
What is bacteria? The rear door of a cafeteria? Mrs. Manicera.
Yes.
That's an odd name. Is that the correct pronunciation?
Yes, it is.
Mm-hmm. Is that, what is it, Spanish?
Italian.
Italian. Well, what does it mean in English? Does it have any English significance?
I was so busy getting the man that I didn't think to analyze the name.
Well, Idella, is that your first name?
Yeah,
Idella?
it is. My given name.
Your given name, eh?
Yes.
I guess somebody was glad to get rid of that name. You operate a bird hospital, huh?
That's right.
And you're a bird doctor, I take it.
Yes.
Can you stand on one leg and go to sleep? Well, you're a doctor, sort of. Maybe you can answer a question that's been bothering me for a long time. What is bacteria?
That's exactly what the doctor said.
Everybody seems to know but me, huh? For a bird doctor, you're pretty cagey, Idella. Well, tell me, Louis Pasteur, that's you. How did you meet your wife? Under a microscope? Or,
No. I met my wife at an Eastern hospital. She happened to be the personnel clerk there, and she took down my...
Steady then.
Yeah.
what I wanted to say
I
was
beg
that
your
she
pardon.
took my application.
Was it a hot application?
No, it was a pretty good application.
Do you have any youngsters, Doc?
No youngsters.
Does anything exciting ever happen around your laboratory?
Oh, not too much. I happened to listen to a baseball game one day, one of the World Series, over a stethoscope.
You listened to it over a stethoscope?
That's right. We couldn't hear the speaker loud enough at the time, so my chief, the pathologist, walked up to his office and came back with the stethoscope and placed it over the speaker of the radio and gave us the play-by-play account of the game from then on. So
I didn't think you'd be able to do that with a stethoscope.
Oh, yes.
Because most of the Brooklyn players didn't have any heart for this World Series. Well, tonight I'm learning quite a lot about birds and bacteria, and now I want you to have the perfect Christmas gift from our sponsor.
For Mrs. Idella Manicera, Elgin American's beautiful pearls. An ideal Christmas gift for any woman. They're the finest pearls made by man. I'm sure you'll enjoy them.
Thank you. They'll match everything I have.
And
what about Ducky here?
For Mr. Matuccio, an ideal Christmas gift for a man. Elgin American's popular cigarette case with today's smart leather-like look.
Oh, very nice. Now I can stop bumming cigarettes, I guess.
Now, Idella, what kind of birds do you doctor?
Well, we have all kinds. We have canaries and parakeets and cockatiels and parrots and minor birds.
Minor bird? Is that the bird that looks after the miners? That isn't John L. Lewis, huh? Now, do you ever treat any wild birds?
Yes, we treat wild birds. They're brought to us constantly.
What kind?
Well, all kinds. Mockingbirds and blackbirds and larks. Everything.
What do you do for a lark?
Well, we reduce the fractures if that happens to be the case.
You're just an old night owl, that's what you do. You just don't give a hoot, do you?
That's right.
What's the most unusual bird doctoring you've ever tackled?
I once had a pair of penguins brought to me.
You did, huh? I've led a very sheltered life. I've never had a penguin. What was the matter with them? Did they fall off a package of cool?
No, they fell from a cool place into a warm climate, and that gave them pneumonia.
They fell from a cool place into a warm climate?
Into a warm climate.
That's what eventually is going to happen to me, you know. Now tell me, Florence Nightingale, when you were a young girl, a real young girl, I mean, you're still a girl, but did you always dream of someday being a bird doctor?
No,
What did you want to be?
I wanted to be a physician. But when I was a girl, that wasn't being done. My parents threw up their hands in horror.
Mm-hmm.
So
had they swallowed them? What a vulgar mind I have. In just 1 minute, you're going to work together as a team for $1,500. But first, listen to this.
Who said Santa Claus was one man with whiskers? He's every gent giving Elgin American compacts to his gal and sisters.
Lives there a woman with a bedroom to her name who doesn't long for an Elgin American dresser set to glamorize same?
And show me the man who wouldn't strut with a cigarette case and lighter by nobody but Elgin American.
Here's the gift inspirational for women and girls. Those gorgeous, sensational, simulated pearls by Elgin American.
What causes this great Elgin American preference? It's beauty, style, perfection with a difference.
And to keep all your Christmas shopping very budget nice, Elgin American gifts outvalue them all in price.
Yes, Elgin American gifts are first in fashion, first in value, first in the hearts of every man and woman on your list. So make this the Christmas to outdo them all. Give Elgin American.
Now then, let's see if you're going to be our winning couple and get the chance at the $1,500 question. Fenneman, tell them the rules.
Each of our three couples has $20. They bet as much of that 20 as they want on each of 4 questions. The couple that earns the most money gets a chance at the $1,500 question at the end of the show. Our other 2 couples are in a waiting room off stage, so they don't know what's going on out here.
Here we go. Let's see how high I can build you $20. You selected nicknames for college teams, right?
That's right.
What college how many you have $20? How much do you want to bet?
Well, 10.
10. What college team is known as the Indians?
Stanford.
Stanford is right.
And they're off down the field with $30.
You're going for $1,500 tonight. How much of your $30 will you try?
Well, 20.
20? What college team is known as the Mustangs?
Southern Methodist.
Southern Methodist is on the nose.
And now they have $50.
Here's your third question. How much of the 50 are you going to try?
40.
What college is known as the Vandals? Vandals.
Tennessee? No. Vanderbilt?
Oh, I'm sorry. It's where the big potatoes come from. It's Idaho.
Oh, Idaho. That's right.
They now have $10.
Now you only have $10, and here's your last chance to beat the other couples. How much of the 10 do you bet?
Oh, we'll bet the works.
You bet the works. What college team is known as the Wolverines?
Michigan?
Michigan is correct.
And they'll wind up with a total of $20.
Thanks and good luck from Elgin American Compacts. Don't wander off now. No, you can still get the big question, you know.
Groucho, the secret word is still dust. Perhaps the next couple will say it. Just before we went on the air, our studio audience selected a mechanic and a woman driver. And here they are, Mrs. Hilda Mary Buss and Mr. Jack McDonald meet Groucho Marx.
Welcome, folks, to the Elgin American program. And if one of you says the secret word, he wins the 16-millimeter Apollo Sound movie projector instantly. It's a common word, something you see every day. Mr. Jack McDonald, huh?
Yes, sir.
You're a mechanic, eh? Are you married, Jack?
Yes, sir.
Any little wenches? Any little wenches at home?
I have
Wrenches
two.
at home?
Two, sir.
How'd you meet your wife?
Oh, I was invited to a party one evening, and I was told I was to have a date with a girl by the name of Verna. When I got there, I found there was two Vernas, so I took my choice. And,
I hope you've quit that, though, eh?
Yes, sir.
Where do you work, Jack?
Work for Mark C. Bloom, 6210 Sunset Boulevard. Open 24 hours a day. Good service.
What kind of a mechanic are you?
Garage mechanic.
You work on garages?
On cars.
Do you work on them or under them?
Under them.
Well, why do you work under the cars, huh?
That's where the work is.
Don't look now, but my clutch is slipping, huh? Now, Mrs. Buss, Hilda Buss, huh?
That's right.
Where are you from, Hilda?
I'm originally from River Falls, Wisconsin.
What is your husband's occupation?
Well, he's assistant vice president for the Equitable Life Insurance Company.
Mm-hmm. That's good business, the insurance business.
Well, I think so, and he does, too. Mm-hmm. Don't you?
Yes. I'm crazy about it. How'd you meet your husband, ma'am?
Well, I was selling men's real silk shorts door to door.
You were selling men's shorts? Do you model these things?
No. I met him in his private business office with a tape measure in one hand and a pair of orchid shorts in the other.
That's how you met him?
Yes, that's right.
And what did he do?
Well, I was trying to write up an order for him, and they come in the new 7-day pack. And,
What's a 7-day pack?
Well, Sunday is orchid, Monday is cardinal, Tuesday is Kelly green.
You mean you know people who change their underwear every day? Well, so?
Wednesday is champagne.
No,
Thursday is canary.
If Thursday is canary. I'll get that bird doctor back here.
Friday is salmon. Saturday is flesh color.
Flesh color. What's that, no shorts at all? I suppose Sunday you spend all day washing, the other 7 days. Well, this is a whole new world you've opened to me, Hilda. Now tell me, leaky gasket, what's the most common type of repair job that you're called on to fix?
People come in with a trouble, they say. They doesn't knock and a rattle, but it's all in their head.
They got a rattle in their head? Well, what gives you the most trouble, men drivers or women?
Oh, men.
Why? Why is that?
The man, he comes in and he wants, he knows all about it, you know. And the woman driver, she comes in and says, fix it.
Now, Mrs. Buss, is this true that women don't know anything about the car they drive?
Well, I wouldn't say that.
Well, you don't have to. He just said it. Let's see how much you know. For example, you've just stepped on the starter. Now tell me, what's going on under the hood?
Oh, it makes an awful roaring sound, and there's gas going through the generator and jumps into the spark plugs. And first thing you know, the spark plugs are sparking away, and pretty soon I start off the car.
Well, what is a microbe? Can you tell me? Now, Mrs. Buss, I'll give you one more chance. After you drive around a while, your motor heats up, doesn't it, as a rule?
Uh-huh.
Now, tell me, what keeps your car from getting too hot?
Well, open the window.
I rest my transmission, huh? Now, we're very happy to have you both here. You've been a wonderful couple, and George has the perfect Christmas gift from our sponsor.
For Mrs. Buss, Elgin American's beautiful dresser set in jeweler's bronze with a look of gold. Notice that engraved floral design, Mrs. Buss. Isn't that lovely?
Oh, it's beautiful. Thank you.
For our mechanic, Elgin American's exclusive heart-shaped compact that's definitely different. It's jeweler's bronze that looks like gold. His wife will truly appreciate it. Beautiful.
All right, now let's play You Bet Your Life for $1,500. You run your $20 into more than our other couples, and you get a chance at the big question. I can't tell you how much the first couple won, but George is offstage to remind our listeners.
The bacteriologist and the bird doctor won $20.
Here we go. Let's see how high you can build your $20. You selected pictures on paper money as your category. Is that right?
Yes, sir.
Here's your first question. You have $20. How much are you going to try?
15.
15. Whose picture is on the $5 bill?
Lincoln.
Abraham Lincoln, the old boy himself.
They're on their way with $35.
Remember, you're going for $1,500 tonight. How much of the 35 are you going to try?
20.
30. No, 30.
You're going to try 30.
30.
Whose picture is on the $2 bill?
Jefferson.
Thomas Jefferson is right, huh?
They're on their way. They have $65.
All right, you've got $65, and here's your third question. How much of the 65 are you going to try?
60.
$60. Whose picture is on the $50 bill?
Grant.
General Grant is right.
They're really climbing now. They have $125.
All right, you're reaching the peak. You've got $125, and how much are you going to bet of the $125?
$125.
$125. Whose picture is on the $500 bill?
Harrison.
I'm sorry, it's William McKinley. That was a tough one. You gambled and you lost. Going to give you a chance to make yourselves $10 richer. It's not going to be easy, so concentrate. You ready? What animal do you find on a buffalo nickel?
Buffalo.
A buffalo is right. Thanks and good luck from Elgin American Compacts. Now, in just 1 minute, our last couple will play the Elgin American game, and then we know who gets the $1,500 question. Right now, here's something all Christmas shoppers should pay attention to.
Don't tell me your Christmas shopping is done. How on earth do you know what to buy? Me, I hunt and I shop till I'm ready to drop. Get so confused I could die.
Save your time, disposition, and money, too, where they sell Elgin American Compacts. They're perfect. They're smart. Solve your list from the start. Do as I do. Buy easily. Relax.
Yes, that's how to simplify your shopping and still give beautiful gifts. Buy Elgin American Compacts for all the women on your Christmas list. They'll be thrilled with the elegance and perfection Elgin American stands for. You'll be delighted with the values. Priced from just $3.95. $2.95 for American Beauty Companion Compacts. Whatever you pay, even for sterling silver or 14-karat gold, you'll give the best gifts at the best price with the best compacts made. By Elgin American.
All right, it won't be long till we know who's going to earn the chance at the $1,500 question. George, who's ahead so far?
The bacteriologist and the bird doctor are leading with $20. And the secret word is still dust. Just before we went on the air, our studio audience selected a young couple who were about to be married. And here they are, coming in from off stage. Miss Jackie Hawk and Mr. Don Peckoff meet Groucho Marx.
Welcome, kids, for Elgin American Compacts. And if one of you says the secret word, he wins a 16mm Apollo sound movie projector instantly. It's a common word, something you see every day. Pretty classy-looking couple, I'd say. So you two are getting married, eh? Don Peckoff, that's you.
Yes.
When is the big day, Don?
Oh, it'll be a week from Sunday.
Week from Sunday, huh? How old are you, Don?
I'm 25.
And Jackie Hauk. Hauk, is that right?
Yes.
Soon it'll be Jackie Pickoff, huh? How old are you, Jackie?
20.
20, huh? I presume you realize that marriage is a serious business, Don?
Yes, I do.
Would you be able to support Jackie on your income?
Oh, yes.
Are you sure of that as he is, Jackie?
Yes. In fact, we've already worked out a budget.
Oh, you dreamers in for a surprise. Where do you work, Don?
I work at Orbach's.
Is that a second-hand store?
No? No, it isn't.
Well, I'm sorry. I wish it was. I want to buy a second-hand for my watch. What do you do at Orbach's?
Oh, I work in the boys department. I sell clothing for kids from 4 to 20, and once a week I take stock. And
have you ever been caught at it? And Jackie, where do you work?
I also work at Orbach.
You work at Orbach? How did you meet this fellow, in the bargain basement? How'd you meet him, Jackie?
Well, I was out with a friend of his, and we wound up the same place during the course of the evening.
Where?
And the Hobnob, Beverly Hills.
Who were you with?
A friend of his. I said
Don't even remember his name?
Stanley.
Stanley, huh?
Mm-hmm.
And
well...
you came in?
Oh, I came in a little later. And
Who were you with?
I was with a girl named Merle.
And what happened?
Well, I went home at 12:30. Stanley took me home, and Donald picked me up at 1:45.
Why, you little sneak, you, huh? Now, look, I'm a little past that period, but how did he transmit this message to you that he was going to see you after you had stashed away this other guy, huh?
Well, we had a chance to talk between songs.
I see.
Between
And Stanley
Cokes.
wasn't looking, and he
That's right.
quick slipped him the info, huh?
He went out to get more Cokes.
Shows you, man should never leave the room. What do you do at the store, Jackie?
I'm a rapper.
A rapper?
Mm-hmm.
Pretty snappy-looking rapper. And how far from Jackie do you operate?
Oh, about 2 minutes by the escalator, 2.5 minutes by the elevator, and 4 minutes by the stairs.
There must be a faster way, isn't there?
I haven't hit on it if there is.
Have you tried squeezing in one of those little change boxes that they shoot along?
Try that
No,
next
I
time.
How did you shop around before you decided that Don was the best boy, Jackie?
Oh, I went out on dates. Went out with quite a few fellas, I guess.
Before Escalator Eddie popped the question here, did anybody else ask you to get married in addition to your mother? Couple. Did she lean over the counter and kiss you when you proposed?
No.
She didn't give you a counter proposal, huh? Who's going to handle the money after you marry, Jackie?
He will, I guess.
Is this all settled? Do you agree on that, Don?
Oh, we're not particularly concerned about money. Well, it doesn't matter.
No, really, it's of no importance, money, huh? That is, unless you want to eat or something like that. Looking for a room or something. What's your ambition in life, Don?
I guess my first ambition is to get myself out of debt.
Well, after you're 65, what's your ambition, huh? Are there any opportunities for advancement there at Orbach's?
Oh, yes.
You contemplate staying there?
Well, I plan on going to law school in the fall.
Uh-huh. Then you're going to sue Orbach, is that it? Well, if you two can stand me for 5 minutes, you'll have no trouble standing each other, I'm sure. I wish you both every happiness, and I know you're going to have a wonderful time together. Now, George Fenneman has your perfect Christmas gift from our sponsor.
For Jackie, this lovely sterling silver compact with 14-karat gold engraving, an Elgin American, of course.
Thank you.
And for Don, Elgin American's hand-engraved sterling silver cigarette case that holds 20 regular or 16 king-size cigarettes. Something you'll always be proud of, Don.
That is really nice.
Now you're going to play You Bet Your Life. You beat our other two couples, you'll get a crack at the $1,500. I can't tell you how much they won, but George is off stage to remind our listeners.
The bacteriologist and the bird doctor are still ahead with $20.
All right, here we go. You have $20. Let's see how high you can build it. You selected songs with sweet in the title. Is that right? Now you have $20. How much you going to bet? $10. Give me the title of this sweet song. Play, Jerry.
Sweet Leilani.
Ba-ba-ba-bo. Sweet Leilani is right.
And they're on their way with $30.
Oh, you got $30. Remember, you're going for $1,500 tonight. How much of the 30 are you going to try?
$20.
$20. All right, what's the name of this song?
Sweet Sue.
Sweet Sue. Sweet Sue.
They're on their way.
Sweet Sue.
They're on their way. They have $50, Groucho.
They have $50, Georgie. Well, here's your third question. How much of the 50 are you going to try?
40.
$40. All right, let's see if you can identify this song. Okay, Jerry.
Sweet and Lovely.
Sweet and Lovely is right.
They're climbing now, Groucho. They have $90.
Hey, don't guess quite so quick. We have a fortune tied up in these musicians. Let them play 8 bars, will you? Now you've got $90, and here's your last chance to beat the other couples. How much of the 90 are you going to try?
All of it.
Well, we have 90.
You have $90.
80?
85.
$85. Well, that's known as the Missouri Compromise. $85.
$5 to go home.
Give me the title of this sweet song.
Sweet
Georgia Brown.
And they wind up with $175, and that means that they get a chance at the $1,500 question. And now, a word from Myron Wallace.
Perfection is the word for Elgin American's handsome lighter case. A lighter and cigarette case combined in one handy accessory. The lighter lights automatically when the cigarette case clicks close. Buy your Elgin American lighter case from $19.95 or its companion American Beauty lighter case from $9.95. Tomorrow, ask your dealer for Surefire lighter cases by Elgin American.
And here's the winning couple, Groucho, the engaged couple.
Well, back again to try for $1,500, eh? Good luck. I'll give you 15 seconds to decide on a single answer between you, so talk it over thoroughly and no help from the audience. Please. Recently, a 7-foot statue of the Mormon leader who founded Salt Lake City was erected in the Capitol in Washington. What is the name of this great Mormon leader? All right, what is the answer you two have decided upon?
Oh, I think of as Brown.
No, I'm sorry. It's Brigham Young. It's Brigham Young. That's a shame. It's a shame. So that means the big question next week will be worth $2,000. Well, you lost the big money, but you received those lovely gifts from Elgin American, and you won $175. Congratulations, and thanks to both of you.
The Elgin American Show, You Bet Your Life, is a John Goodell production. Transcribed from Hollywood, directed by Bob Dwan and Bernie Smith. Music by Jerry Fielding. Remember, next week's big question pays $2,000. Be sure to tune in again next Wednesday night at this time for You Bet Your Life, starring Groucho Marx, presented by the creators of America's most beautiful compacts, smartest cigarette cases, magic action lighters, and finest dresser sets, Elgin American.
Good night, folks. Have you looked at your compact lately? And if you don't care for music, listen to George Burns sing in just 1 hour. Good night.
Ladies and gentlemen, the secret word tonight is hair. H-A-I-R.
Really?
You bet your life. Elgin American, creator of America's most beautiful compacts, smartest cigarette cases, magic action lighters, finest dresser sets, presents Groucho Marx in the Elgin American show, You Bet Your Life, the comedy quiz series produced and transcribed from Hollywood. And here's that sterling Elgin American, the one, the only...
That's me, Groucho Marx. Thank you. Well, here I am again with $2,000 for one of our couples tonight. George Fenneman, who's first on the docket?
Just before we went on the air, our studio audience selected a pair of newlyweds. And here they are, Mr. and Mrs. Frank Goodell. Meet Groucho Marx.
Welcome, youngsters, for Elgin American Compact. Thank you. And if you say the secret word, you win a 16-millimeter Apollo Sound movie projector that sells for $129.50. It's a common word, something you always have with you. You two are newlyweds, eh? Right. Mrs. Frank Goodell, is that right?
Yes, sir.
You're not related to John Goodell.
That's what I know.
You're the blushing bride, I take it.
I'm the bride.
Mr. Goodell, if I'm not too impudent, how old are you?
53.
And you're a newlywed, huh?
That's right.
Took you a long time to find a preacher, didn't it?
Didn't find a preacher. He was a judge.
What were you up on, a traffic rap? And how old are you, Mrs. Goodell?
I'm 58.
Well, you don't look it. And,
To be honest.
well, you don't have to be honest with me, huh? I won't be honest with you, and How long ago was this knot tied?
4 days.
4 days ago. Was the knot tied good and tight?
I hope so. I think so.
Mm-hmm. Maybe it's too tight the way he looks right now. Maybe stopping his circulation. Who attended the wedding, Frank?
Oh, the judge and the court clerk.
Where were you out? Bowling? What do you do for a living, Frank?
I'm an attendant at the Brentwood Hospital.
Mrs. Goodell, are you working?
I work there, too.
Oh, you both work there. And you met her in the hospital. How did it happen?
Oh, I just bumped into her somewhere around there on the ground. Just don't remember.
You bumped into her on the ground?
I met her somewhere. I don't quite remember.
What, were you crawling along on the... Can you fill in the details of the first meeting, Mrs. Goodell? It must have impressed you, I imagine.
Well, he isn't altogether right.
About anything?
Well, about our meeting.
Oh.
Because it happened...
I thought you were going to say he wasn't altogether and let it go.
No, I just mean that that isn't altogether the way it happened. A mutual friend of ours, a lady, came to me and said to me, I want you to meet a friend of mine.
Who was crawling along on the ground?
She didn't say that. And
what did she
said,
say?
I want to bring him over to your house. And as I go, I'll say, Frank, get her telephone number. And, of course, if he's done it 2 times, he'll try it on me. So, all right, I wrote the telephone number very carefully for him, and then from there we waited for things to happen.
What did you say when you proposed to Mrs. Goodell?
I just said, let's get married.
Did he tell the truth, Mrs. Goodell?
Well, no, it didn't happen quite like that.
Your two stories don't exactly jive, Frank.
Oh, well, I get all twisted up, you know.
Yeah. Well, when she gets you home, she'll unravel you, I think. Well, in spite of my being so nosy, I hope the wedding bells aren't as cracked as I am, Frank. And we want you to have some perfect Christmas gifts from our sponsor.
For Mrs. Goodell, a gift any bride will enjoy. This lovely engraved dresser set by Elgin American.
That is beautiful.
And what have you got for Frankie boy here, huh?
And Mr. Goodell, for your ideal Christmas gift, Elgin American's hand-engraved sterling silver cigarette case that holds 20 regular or 16 king-size cigarettes.
Well, Frank, let's get back to your marriage, shall we?
Sure, okay.
Well, you don't have to be so enthusiastic about it. Now, after the honeymoon, did you carry her over the threshold?
No, but I'm thinking about it.
Well, that's good enough, I think. Now, Mrs. Goodell, what particular advantages are there in marrying late in life? I mean, you get companionship.
Companionship, yes, indeed.
Security.
Security.
You have anything to add to that, Frank?
Not a thing. Everything she says is right.
Haven't you any ideas of your own about why it's nice you got married?
Oh, sure. Clean clothes. Someone to cook for me and play
Clean
canasta.
clothes, huh?
Sure.
You could have married a laundromat, you know.
Someone to play canasta with.
Good thing he isn't crazy about football, huh? You might have married Red Grange, huh? Red Grange. That'll give you an idea of the last time I saw a football game. Now, what's been your biggest thrill, Mrs. Goodell?
I think the fact that we are married. When I met
that's a very sentimental answer. Very pretty. Now, what about you, Frank? What's been your most thrilling experience that you can remember?
When I shot my first deer.
You know, you've got more romance in your little fingers than you have in all the rest of your body. Well, it's certainly been nice having you here, and we want to best wishes to both of you, from all of us. Now, in just 1 minute, you're going to work together as a team for $2,000. But first, I want you to pay attention to this.
Oh, hello? Of course I was asleep. What's keeping you awake all night? I know you have to mail it tomorrow to reach her for Christmas. Send a compact set like your Elgin American. Anyone would adore it. All right, so I'm wonderful. Now go to sleep. Good night.
Don't lose sleep over your gift list. Use that wonderful idea, a matching exquisite Elgin American compact and cigarette case to thrill any woman. Add the matching lighter to impress her even more. These very fashionable sets are great values. Start at just $9.95. $6.95 for Elgin American's companion American Beauty set. Come in sterling silver, too. Tomorrow, buy these stunning compact gifts with matching cigarette case, lighter, or both with the prestige name women prefer, Elgin American.
Okay, now see if you'll get a chance at the $2,000 question. You're going to play the Elgin American game, you bet your life. Fenneman, explain the rules.
Each of our three couples has $20. They bet as much of that 20 as they want on each of four questions. The couple that earns the most money gets a chance at the $2,000 question at the end of the show. Our other two couples are in a waiting room off stage, so they don't know what's happening out here.
Here we go. Let's see how high I can build you $20. You selected major cities of the world as your category. Here's your first question. You have $20. How much are you going to try?
5.
In what country is the city of Leipzig?
Poland. Oh,
One answer between you now. No, I'm sorry. It's Germany.
They now have $15.
Remember, you're going for $2,000 tonight. How much of the 15 will you try?
5 more.
5 more. In what country is the city of Prague?
Czechoslovakia.
Czechoslovakia is right.
Now they have $20
All right,
again.
now you're back where you are. Here's your third question. How much of the 20 are you going to risk?
10 of it.
$10. In what country is the city of Sheffield?
England.
England is correct.
We're on the way now. They have $30.
You've got $30. How much are you going to try?
10.
$10. All right. And what country is the city of Warsaw?
Poland.
Poland is correct.
And they wind up with $40.
Thanks and good luck from Elgin American Compacts. Now stick around. You're still in the running for the big question.
Well, Groucho, the secret word is still hair.
It is.
And our next couple may say it. They've been in a waiting room off stage, and here they come. A postal clerk and a housewife selected by our studio audience just before we went on the air. Mrs. Carrie Wolf and Mr. Jack Nelson meet Groucho Marx.
Welcome to You Bet Your Life. And if one of you says the secret word, he wins the 16mm Apollo sound movie projector instantly. It's a common word, something you always have with you. Mr. Jack Nelson.
Yes.
How are you?
Fine.
Jack Nelson, I knew you were the postal clerk. You had that baggy look about you. Where are you from, Jack?
I was born in Mississippi.
Uh-huh. And what zone number?
Well, they didn't have zones in those days.
Mrs. Carrie Wolf?
Yes.
Where are you from, Carrie?
I'm from St. Louis, Missouri, about 10 minutes ride from the river on a streetcar.
Any particular river?
Mississippi.
Oh, the Mississippi. What does your husband do, Carrie?
He's a chemical salesman.
Chemical salesman?
Yes.
What kind of a salesman is that, huh?
Oh, he sells all kinds of chemicals.
Well, then I guess he's a chemical salesman. How'd you meet him?
Well, I met him at a picnic, and he said if I had a bathing suit, I'd go in swimming. So I told him I'd loan him mine. He weighed 120 pounds, and I weighed 204. So,
and what were you wearing?
I didn't go in the water. I didn't want to get my hair wet.
Well, Mrs. Wolf, you said hair, and that's the secret word. George, tell her what she wins.
A 16mm Apollo sound movie projector. Now, Mrs. Wolf, you can show regular Hollywood sound movies or movies you take yourself. It sells for $129.50.
Jack, tell me, who do you work for? Insufficient postage.
United States Post Office.
You work for the post office, but who's your boss, then?
Well, the Postmaster General.
Don't be so sure, you know. The way things are going in Washington these days, you'll have to find your boss as the Postmaster Admiral. So what do you do as a postal clerk?
Well, I sell money orders. I work in the register section and sort mail.
Sort mail. Tell me, do you run across some pretty interesting confidential letters?
Oh, I never read letters.
Well, then I'll never waste my time writing you a letter. Are there any new postal regulations we should know about this year?
Yes, there's one important one.
Yeah, what's that?
Well, that is to put 2 cents on all unsealed Christmas cards instead of 1.5 cents.
Mm-hmm. Just put a 2-cent stamp on it? Don't you have to put the address on it? Now, posters do. That's you. Tell me, Mr. Nelson. Maybe you don't read letters, but I'll bet you read what's on the postal cards, don't you?
Well, only the ones addressed to myself.
This baby is on to me. You mean you don't even take a little glance at other people's postal cards?
No.
Well, how do you know where to deliver them? Now, tell me, Dead Letters, I presume the Christmas season is your busiest time. Do you have any advice for our listeners that will make your work easier?
Yes, they could address all letters plainly and be sure that all packages are tied securely and mail the letters early.
Can you read mail when you hold it up to the light?
No. No.
Oh, you've tried it, huh? Well, it's been interesting having you here, and we want you to have the perfect Christmas gifts from our sponsor. Fenneman?
For Mrs. Wolf, Elgin American's beautiful simulated pearls. They're the finest pearls made by man. I'm sure you'll enjoy them.
Beautiful. Thank you.
And for Mr. Nelson, Elgin American's popular cigarette case with today's smart leather-like look. Something to show off.
Now, let's play You Bet Your Life for $2,000. You run your $20 into more than the other two couples, and you get the chance at the big question later. Fenneman's off stage to remind our listeners how much the first couple won.
The newlyweds won $40.
Here we go. Let's see how high I can build you $20. You selected capitals of states as your category. Is that right?
That's right.
How much you going to try?
10.
$10. All right. What is the capital of Colorado?
Denver.
Denver is correct.
Groucho, they have $30.
Don't forget, you're going for $2,000 tonight. How much of the $30 will you try?
25.
$25. Is that all right with you, Jack?
Yes, that's fine.
All right. What is the capital of Utah?
Salt Lake City.
Salt Lake City is correct.
They're climbing, Groucho. They have $55.
And here is your third question. How much of the 55 are you going to try?
52.
What about you, Jack? You've got something to say about this, too, you know.
About 50, I think.
50? Is that all right with you, Carrie? All right. Now, what is the capital of South Dakota?
Pierre.
Pierre is correct.
Now they have $105.
All right, you've got $105, and here's your last chance to beat the other couple. Now,
105.
you're going to bet is that all right with you, Jack?
Yes, that's fine.
105. What is the capital of Arkansas?
Little Rock.
Little Rock is correct.
And they wind up with $210.
All right, Carrie. Thanks and good luck from Elgin American Compacts. Now, in just 1 minute, our last couple will play You Bet Your Life, and then we know who gets the $2,000 question. But right now, listen.
Jingle bells, jingle for the girls. Oh, what joy it is to get Elgin American's gorgeous pearls.
That's a woman's theme song this Christmas. Elgin American's new and fabulous simulated pearls are a joy to receive and wear. Make the most luxurious gifts for the most reasonable price. Pearls have a beauty that's always in fashion. And Elgin American pearls have the beauty never seen before. They're a revelation in quality, luster, class. Come distinctively gift boxed, even jewel boxed in metal for her dressing table. Yet all this complete superiority costs just $2 to $20 plus tax. See chokers, ropes, bracelets, earrings, strands for children and teenagers, too. Buy them tomorrow for the gift supreme. They're the simulated pearls of all time, the values of all time. Magnificent Elgin American pearls.
Now then, we'll soon know who's going to earn the most money and get the chance at the $2,000 question. George, who's leading so far?
The postal clerk and the housewife with $210. And the secret word is still hair. Our final couple is coming in from their waiting room. Perhaps they'll say the secret word. We invited some physical instructors to the show tonight, and just before we went on the air, the studio audience selected Mr. Karis Kern and a high school boy, Jules Kirker, to be his partner. Gentlemen, meet Groucho Marx.
Welcome, Giants, to the Elgin American Club. And if one of you says the secret word, he wins a 16-millimeter movie projector instantly. It's a common word, something you always have with you. So you're a physical instructor.
Yes.
Physical instructor, huh?
Yes.
Yeah. Where are you from, Karis?
Colfax, Colorado.
Is that near Hot Fats? Colfax?
That's right. I think they changed the name, though.
Well, I should think they will. Where are you from, Shrimp? Huh? Julius, huh?
Yeah. You can call me Jules.
Well, that'll be fun, huh? Call me Jules, too, huh? Where are you from?
I was born in the capital of the United States, Brooklyn.
Not since the World Series, old boy. Do you have any children at home?
No, I'm only 15.
You have 15 children at home, huh?
No, I'm only 15 years old.
Well, answer the question. Do you have any children at home?
I have 2 sisters and a brother.
Well, that's a nice-sized family. How long have you been married?
I'm not married.
Well, how'd you meet your wife? Once I fasten on to something, there's no letting it. How'd you meet your wife, Julius?
Well, I haven't got a wife.
Oh, a bachelor, eh? You live all alone?
No, I live with my family.
Now we're getting someplace. Why didn't you say so? How big is your family?
Well, I have 2 sisters, a brother, my mother and father, and myself.
Mm-hmm. You're evading the question. How big is your father?
My father's not so tall, but I have a brother taller than you.
Don't forget I'm sitting down here. And I'm wearing glasses, huh? Mr. Karen, who are you?
I'm a physical director.
Now, you're threatening me, too, huh? Where do you do your physical instructing?
At the Marcy House of Health.
Oh, I thought Marcy was in the cold, cold ground, huh? Well, what do you do in this abattoir, huh? Or slaughterhouse.
We add years to your life and life to your years.
Did you just make that up?
No, that's our motto.
Oh. Now, tell me, body and soul, what are some good exercise people can do at home?
One of the best is open a window and stand for it and take several deep breaths.
No, that wouldn't be any good for me. I haven't got strength enough to open the window. Huh? How's your wife, Julius?
I haven't got a wife.
She left you, eh? Well, you've still got your family, huh? You tell your father he doesn't scare me a bit. Are you working, Julius?
Sometimes I work down at my dad's store.
What kind of a store?
He has a grocery store down at Brea and Adams.
Uh-huh. What's the name of it?
The Brea Food Center.
You ever hook any stuff down there?
Well, what I do for him is sometimes when he's busy, I stock and answer the telephone sometimes.
What kind of phone calls do you get?
People having orders.
Like what? What do they order?
Food.
Well, I didn't think they ordered underwear in the grocery store. How much dough do you make down there?
All depends.
Depends if your father's out of the store, you mean? Well, what are you saving for?
Made my college education.
Where do you want to go?
Undecided.
Is that near here? You've got a girl, Julius, huh?
Yeah, slightly.
Well, she should be slight at that age. What is she like? Could you describe her, Julius?
Well, she wears jet black hair. Sometimes she wears...
Here we go again. You just said hair, and that's tonight's secret word. George, tell him what he wins.
A 16-millimeter Apollo sound movie projector. Now, Julius, you can show regular Hollywood sound movies or movies you take yourself. It sells for $129.50.
How's your wife, Julius?
Haven't got a wife.
Oh, you got rid of her, huh? Still got your family, I hope. Now, we have some wonderful Christmas gifts for both of you. George?
For Julius, Elgin American's exclusive heart-shaped compact that's definitely different. It's jeweler's bronze that looks like gold. Just the thing for his mother's Christmas present. And for Mr. Kern, this lovely sterling silver compact with 14-karat gold engraving. An Elgin American, of course. His wife will fall in love with it Christmas morning.
Now, let's play You Bet Your Life. If you can beat our other two couples in the quiz, you'll get a crack at the $2,000 question. I can't tell you how much they won, but George is off stage to remind our listeners.
The postal clerk and the housewife are ahead with $210.
Here we go. Let's see how high I can build you $20. You selected famous pioneers of science and invention. Is that right?
Yeah.
Now, how much are you going to bet on your first question?
10. Okay.
Okay.
Who invented the sewing machine?
Benjamin Franklin. I think it is Benjamin Franklin.
Benjamin Franklin.
No. I'm sorry. It was Elias Howe. H-O-W-E.
They now have $10.
Well, you're down to $10. Remember, you're going for $2,000 tonight. How much of the $10 will you try?
5.
5.
Okay. Who discovered the preventer for rabies?
Louis Pasteur.
Louis Pasteur is right.
They're climbing back. They have $15.
That's right. Louis Pasteur. That's Tony Pasteur's brother, huh? Now, here's your third question. You have $15. How much are you going to try? $10. Who invented the wireless? One answer between you.
Benjamin Franklin.
No, you're just Benjamin Franklin happy here, that's all. This time it happened to be Marconi.
They now have $5.
Well, now you've sunk all the way down to $5. You're getting as low as Julius here, huh? Now you've got $5. Here's your last chance to beat the other couples. How much of the 5 are you going to try?
Go the works.
You're going to shoot the works, huh? Who invented the cotton gin? Eli Whitney is correct.
And they wind up with $10. And that means the housewife and the postal clerk with $210 get the chance at the $2,000 question. And now, a word from Myron Wallace.
The name Elgin American means the very finest quality, designing, finish, and craftsmanship. The best value. In exquisite compacts, gorgeous simulated pearls, magnificent dresser sets, magic action lighters, wondrous lighter cases, distinguished cigarette cases, handsome military sets, fascinating musical humidors. Your favorite store has a complete assortment of the newest Elgin American styles right now. See them. And for your own proud use, for thrilling prestige gifts, always buy Elgin American.
And here's the winning couple, Groucho, the postal clerk and the housewife.
Ready to try for $2,000, eh? Good luck. I'll give you 15 seconds to decide on a single answer between you, so talk it over thoroughly. And please, no help from the audience. You ready? The chairman of Europe's Western Union Defense Alliance is a famous British soldier. He wears a beret. For $2,000, what's his name? All right, what is the answer you two have decided upon?
General Montgomery.
General Montgomery is right, huh? That's right. That's right, you win $2,000. You had the right answer, so you win $2,000 from Elgin American Compacts. What are you going to do with all that money? What are you going to do with it, Mrs. Wolf?
Whenever I have a streak of good luck, I always remember charity, and then I have to go under 2 major operations, and that'll take care of that.
Well, that's a very worthy way of spending the money, huh? And while you're thinking of charity, remember, charity begins right here, huh? Now, Mr. Nelson, you old postal clerk, you, what are you going to do with your swag?
Well, I'm going to finish buying furniture for the house, and I'd like to make a contribution to the Westview Hospital for Negroes.
Well, you received... Let's see, you received lovely gifts from Elgin American. You won $2,000 plus $210. You really cleaned up tonight. Congratulations.
The Elgin American Show, You Bet Your Life, is a John Goodell production. Transcribed from Hollywood, directed by Bob Dwan and Bernie Smith. Music by Jerry Fielding. Remember, next week's big question pays $1,000. Be sure to tune in again next Wednesday night at this time for You Bet Your Life, starring Groucho Marx. Presented by the creators of America's most beautiful compacts, smartest cigarette cases, magic action lighters, and finest dresser sets, Elgin American.
Good night, folks. Have you looked at your compact lately? Don't go away now. Bing the Crosby is next, you know.
Showing your support for my podcast. If you would like to receive notifications of when new episodes are posted, please subscribe to my channel. Well, hope you enjoyed, and until next time, stay safe, wish you well, and as always, peace.